If you're looking for your purpose and you lacking meaning, astrology is really going to help you more than you know. You use it as awareness and not prediction. Getting into the deep parts of the unconscious to reveal to them what they need to know, to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, to transform. Then you know what your soul is pushing you towards. So those houses are important because that's going to show you how you're going to do business, who you're going to partner with, and all those things. Spiritual Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Bigger. And today we're going to talk about astrology. That's right. Astrology as awareness and not prediction. Most people use astrology to predict what's going to happen. But what if you use it to know where you are right now? And by using it in that way, you can understand it differently. So when you look at astrology, right, you look at all the planets, look at all the stars aligning, your moon, your rising, your sun. You also have houses in astrology, right? So your first house is your appearance, where your ascendant, your rising sign is. Your second house is your possessions, your self-worth, money. Your third house is communication, right? Community. Your fourth house is home and family. Fifth house is like pleasure, fun, leisure. Your sixth house is work and well-being and your health. Your seventh house is relationships. Your eighth house is death, taxes, rebirth, transmutation. It's a very Scorpio house. Ninth house is travel, philosophy, spirituality, which is a Sagittarius house. 10th house is career and public facing, your MC, reputation in the physical world. 11th house is community, friends, associates, audience, technology, which is Aquarius. And 12th house is Pisces, which is the metaphysic, the subconscious, the unconscious. So it's so important to kind of know your placements within your chart. When you're dealing with astrology, people always talk about your top three. That's your sun, the month you're born, your moon, which is your mood and your emotions, and your rising. It's like your personality, your ascendant, how you come off. So I'm going to just talk about me. Pisces sun, right? So I'm born March 9th. My moon is Sag, right? And my rising is Libra. All right, so your rising sign is in the first house of your natal chart. The opposite of the first house is the seventh house. And the seventh house is partnerships, relationships, contracts, right? Those are going to be like business related, romantic, personal. So the opposite of your rising sign, whatever your rising sign is, so say this is your rising sign is a Virgo, the opposite of that is Pisces. So people with Virgo rising are usually going to attract or look for partners or gravitate to partners with Pisces energy. I'm a Libra rising, so the opposite of Libra is Aries. So when it comes to relationships and partnership and business, I usually attract pioneer Aries type of energy. So in my life, I'm going to always attract powerful people, leaders, initiators, doers, people who believe in themselves, faith, confidence, right? That's why I usually attract. Same in partnership, right? People have more of an independence, a go, I can do this, I am who I am. So that makes sense, right? My moon is in Sag, which is fire, philosophy, always learning, thinking, travel, escapism, adventures. So that's where all my motivation and my drive come from. I'm just like, let's go, let's get it done. And then my sun, which is Pisces, I'm very sensitive, very intuitive, very psychic. I can see things before they happen. I can see through things, see through people. But so all I need you to know, if you got a pen and pad or you got a notepad for your phone, find your rising sign. You can go to astroseek.com and you can go Google natal chart, right? And then put in the time you were born, where you were born, month, day, and year. And when you go, I want you to use whole sign, because the difference between placid and whole signs, these are systems where you get the elements of your sign and your chart. Placid is, in my mind, is more ego driven. Whole sign is more soul driven. So I like to look at the soul of people's chart and not the ego, right? So your first house is ascendant, your seventh house is relationship. So if you're at a space right now and you're looking for a partner, you're looking for a relationship, or you're curious about the relationships you have in business or with your spouse or just anything, the opposite of your rising sign is usually what your soul is going to gravitate to. So just think about your rising sign and what's the opposite of that sign, and you'll know who your potential partners are, who you're going to do business with, But you need to know your top three: your moon, sun, and rising. That's important. And remember, so I said moon, sun, and rising. So those are three. Write it down. So I want you to know your moon, sun, and rising, and then your rising sign and your seventh house. So your first house is your rising sign. Your seventh house is relationships. So those houses are important because that's going to show you how you're going to do business, who you're going to partner with, who's your potential mate, and all those things, right? So now we go to second house. Second house is most important because this is like your money and your possessions, right? So when it comes to the second house, I have Scorpio, and Scorpio is a very intense, transformational planet, psychological. So a lot of my business is working with people to transform their lives, to transmute their pain for gain so they can live their highest good, getting into the deep parts of the unconscious to reveal to them what they need to know, to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, to transform. So your second house is also going to be the energy you're going to have when it comes to money and possessions. You need to have your moon, sun, and rising, first house, seventh house, second house, right? Because second house is money, seventh house is relationship, right? Then we're going to get into your north node and your south node. A lot of times people don't, astrologists might not talk about this, but your north node is what you're here to live out in this lifetime. Your south node is what you already reincarnated with, what you were in a past life. I got to move out of that. And it's also, Virgo is very analytical, structured, mundane. I got to get out of that and go more into the north node, which is Pisces. Also, your north node and south node are going to be opposites as well. So my north node is Pisces, sixth house, right? Sixth house is a Virgo house, which is well-being, health, and routine. So if you think about it, spiritual fitness, we got spiritual fitness, which is more like Pisces, spirit, and then fitness. I'm giving you regiment on how to be spiritually fit, right? North node, sixth house. So you want to know your north node, your south node, especially those two are going to help because then you know what your soul is pushing you towards. Your soul is pushing you towards your north node. Your south node, you don't got to lose those parts of you. That's what you already have embodied, right? So it's important, again, astrology as self-awareness, not prediction. We're not trying to predict anything. We're trying to understand everything within our souls to live our greatest life, right? And these are the things some astrologer, or maybe not, I can't say they're not good at because I don't know that. They might don't break it down to that extent, but I think these signs and these placements within your chart are so important. So I already told you again, your sun, your moon, your rising. First house, seventh house, second house. All right, next you're going to go to your 10th house. Your 10th house is your career, your reputation, how people see you in a social status, right, in the world. And your 10th house is important. Your MC is what's the symbol going to be in your chart, or how it's going to be out in the world, how you're going to look out in the world. So in the 10th house, I have Leo because Leo is all about, fire and charm and creativity. That's why I'm on YouTube, right? Speaking about what I know, right? And then usually I'm on YouTube, front facing, talking about Scorpio stuff, deep stuff, things that's going to transformation, numerology, astrology, spirituality, all these things. This is interesting. So that's the next thing you know. You don't know your MC, which is your 10th house. Usually that's where your MC symbol is within your 10th house. For your 10th house, you need to know the sign that's in it. So mine is in Leo, all right? Last but not least, there's so many other things I can say, but I don't want to overwhelm you because it's a lot of information. You might have to go back and reiterate some of this. So the bonus is this. It's something in your natal chart called your part of fortune. Your part of fortune. Sometimes it would say lot of fortune. So what you can do now, you can go to Google and go to Astro part of fortune, or just put in part of fortune calculator. And you're going to put in the time you're born, where you're born, and everything's coming. What's going to come up is a different chart, different information. It's going to have your part of fortune, your part of spirit, your part of eros. So your part of fortune is the easiest and best way you attract luck, prosperity, and abundance in your life. Your part of spirit, which be the lot of spirit, is going to be more like your soul's purpose. This is important. This is your soul's purpose. And then your part of eros is more as love, a lot of eros, E-R-O-S. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's more like love and intimacy and how you view that. So the reason, if we just take out the first 9 and you just looked at these 3, that's all you need, to be honest. You just look at those 3, it'll change your frequency. All right. So again, the part of fortune is how you attract luck, success, and prosperity, right? The easiest way. So Mars is in the 5th house in Aquarius. So I'm usually going to attract success, prosperity, luck, money, and opportunity doing Aquarian type of thing, being unconventional, right? Going outside the box, spiritual fitness, TV, brand deals, like, but it's going to be more like an Aquarian type of nature. Then you got your lot of spirit, which is your part of spirit, which is your purpose. So my purpose and my placement is Cancer, 10th house, 10 degree. So my purpose here and what I am here in this lifetime is to be an emotional home for the world. People come into my life and tell me everything and give me what they need because they feel safe in my presence. They feel safe. I'm like the father, mother for people, right? So people feel emotionally safe with me. But that's part of my soul's purpose, is to be the emotional home for others and for the world, to be relatable, to help people see, to help people feel safe, feel seen, feel heard, right? And be relatable. And Cancer is a water sign. That's the mother symbol. It's the 4th house. Then 10th house. Remember I told you about the 10th house? That's career. That's more like 10th house is like, oh, so in that space, I'm more for the world. I'm more like this emotional father who's, his healthy masculine that people come to when they need, they want to cry, they need a prayer. That's who I am. So then we go to part of Eros, which Mars is in Capricorn, right? So when it comes to intimacy and relationships and partners, Capricorn energy, I'm going to be attracted to. And if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram at Eric Bigger. Comment on this video. Also, subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast, Spiritual Fitness. Just give me feedback. I want to know because I want to help you. And honestly, astrology is really going to help you more than you know. If you're looking for your purpose and you lacking meaning and you got the time you're born, where you were born, and all that, DM me and I can help you. But other than that, you guys stay spiritually fit. Thank you for listening to this episode. Follow me on all channels at Eric Bigger. And don't miss a beat. And remember, astrology, you use it as awareness and not prediction. You guys be great. Peace.